All right, we'll go ahead and get started today because we're running a little bit late. It might take a long time too. So for everybody that's here, just want to let you guys know we're recording this segment here too, and it's going to be shared within the counties in California here. So make sure we say anything inappropriate or try to keep your voices down a little bit too, so everybody can hear what we're talking about. So today we're going to be talking about our the affirmative action that I was asked to do. Me, Michael, and Shua was asked to talk about our Hmong culture. So how many of you guys ever heard of Hmong before? You guys ever heard of Hmong? The word Hmong? All right. And you guys know people who are Hmong? You guys should know people who are Hmong. So there's a lot of Hmong people here in the community here in Fresno. A lot of the Hmong people who came over from across the ocean here. They settled here in Fresno and also throughout the United States. But there's a lot of them here. There's also a lot of them throughout California too, but it's mostly concentrated here in Fresno. So if you guys don't know anybody who's Hmong or anybody like that, you guys will get a little culture shock today. Today we're going to do a little segment with Michael first, and then we're going to do Shua, and then I'm going to be the last one talking. I talked about the first generation Hmong American here in the United States. So we'll start with Michael. Here's a little agenda. So he's going to talk about the history of the Hmong people, the Hmong villages, General Bang Pao and the war influences. So if you guys don't know who General Bang Pao is, you guys will probably know him today. Religions, and he'll talk about his family. And then Shua will talk next, and she'll talk about escaping the war. So this is more like personal life experience. Every Hmong person has different stories too. So that's a little disclaimer. Hmong culture clothes and her family, and I'm going to talk about our arrival in the United States. Although I was born here in the United States, I'm going to talk about how my family came here, grown up, expectations as a first generation Hmong American, and also culture and tradition as a first generation Hmong American. So we'll start with Michael first.
All right, thank you, Taku. Well, some of you or many young people ask me, why are the Hmong here in the United States, right? Because there are people all over the world, they come here, a lot of them for economic reason, but the Hmong were here not because of that. They were forced out of their country. And we made a contract, a promise with the United States. Of course, you probably know the term CIA, right? Okay. So that's why a lot of Hmong here. So the Hmong origin from China. About here's a read about the story written here. So right now there's a lot of Hmong population, large population of Hmong still in China. And also we moved down to Vietnam, Burma, and Thailand. Those countries, have large number of Hmong people. But because they moved to those countries and the language still, half of the language is still Hmong, but the other word in those language. And so like Taku, so maybe he'll talk some Hmong, but then he used a lot of English too. So when you're in Thailand, you talk a lot Hmong, but there's a lot of words in Thai. For me, I live in Laos. A lot of my words are Hmong, but some of my words are Lao too. So we're kind of adapt to the country, but we're still Hmong. Okay. Hmong settled in Southeast Asia. You see the map here. China is up there. Vietnam, Thailand. Somehow we don't have Hmong in Cambodia, right? Yeah. So, but right in those countries we have Hmong all over the place. Yeah. Go ahead. So here the Hmong history. Drawn to the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War started in the 60s, between 60 and 70. So like maybe his parents, my parents, and a lot of Hmong. Back then, the Hmong either you're a farmer or you're a soldier, and that's it. Because we don't have school, we don't have a hospital. We don't have, you know, out in the country, in the jungle, you don't see cars, you don't see, you know, airplane, you don't see the things that we always see every day. And so you wake up in the morning, go to the farm, and come back. So that's pretty much it. Or you serve in the military, you know, that's pretty much it. So here you see the picture on the side here, General Van Pao, when he was young, and you know, because this picture was black and white, and then we don't have a lot of, you know, clear photo, but this is clear enough. So you see, this is the young General Van Pao, and a lot of soldiers behind him. So the typical Hmong life in the highland or Laos were farmer or you know, a soldier, because we don't have school, and a lot of them is, you know, not very educated. But they're pretty good at fighting, you know. That's why CIA came over and just you know, ask the Hmong, if you go out to a jungle, then the Hmong know how to, you know the jungle well, and they can direct this American soldier to, you know how the Ho Chi Minh Trail, to stop the Ho Chi Minh Trail, because to going from north to south, because the American soldiers were in the south, and they have to cross through Laos to you know, to kill the American soldier down in Vietnam. So they use the Hmong to stop the Ho Chi Minh Trail. So Ho Chi Minh Trail is just the trail that the communist North Vietnamese, they have to cross through Laos, and that's why the CIA came over. They gave us plane, airplane, you know, weapons, all that. And you know, we thought that some of the planes that they gave us were very good, but it was a T-28. T-28 just compared to the one that they use for spraying the field here. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like that, okay? So that you know. Okay, go ahead. So now the new life in America, the Hmong people went through the same struggle as any other new immigrant. They went to first arrive in the United States first. It was hard to adapt. Yes, for me, you know, I came when I was 9 years old, and you know, I heard from a lot of Hmong families that you have to be trained, because how to turn the faucet, the hot water, the cold water, or to flush the toilet. And they have to learn all that, because you know, I heard family said that they're looking for water. There's no water, right? There's a bowl of water because of the toilet. And it's kind of funny, you know. And they kind of use that, but you know, because they have to be trained. And for me, I came and the first word I know was the word yes and no. But I don't know yes and no means either. So, you know, it's quite an experience. So, you know, one time I was in class, and because your teacher would call you, roll call every morning, right? And all the kids would say yes, yes, yes. And when it you know, come you know, my turn, I said we, and they were look up to me. I was you know, freaked out, and then my teacher goes, oh yeah, that's in French, that's a yes, you know. And so I still remember that through, you know, to this day. And so it was hard when you know, you first come to the United States. Go ahead. So the Hmong from Laos, okay, only 18 clans. I have the ones that I have, but we have, you know, we made the hat, and so we have that. So Hmong, you know, my last name is Yang. So Chiku was he's Vang, and Shua's Yang too, but then he's married Vang, so she took two last names, so Yang and Vang. There's Tao, Vu, Shong, Ku, Kong, and Ken. So the Hmong that from the country of Laos only. Okay? They only have 18 last names. But we have Hmong in China and Vietnam. They have like close to 80 last names. So, but they're still Hmong. The 18 clans were the Hmong from Laos only. Go ahead. So here's a typical Hmong village in the highland country of Laos. Like I said, no school, no electricity, no connection to civilization, walking by foot to and from point A to point B. So maybe a lot of you, maybe do your exercise, walking the trail, right? Up in the foothills, and the trail kind of just like that. As you see, a typical Hmong village, just like this. You see a house up there, middle, but behind it you have a garden, you have a, fence that keep your animal in, and it's when you go there, so there's no restroom. So the restrooms is the jungle out there. Yeah, it's a typical Hmong village just like this in the highland country of Laos. Yeah, go ahead. So here's a village with a lot of families. There's, like I said, there's no electricity, no running water. You have to, gather your firewood every other day. Inside there, I don't have a photo inside a Hmong house what it looks like, but just dirt floor and a fireplace on the side. The bed probably, there's another room on the other side, but made of bamboo. And so outside you see like this, but you go inside a Hmong house, it's just it's quite different. It's like you live in the jungle. Yeah. So here's access to Hmong village. Average within 1 hour to 1 day walking distance from the lowland big city. So you see all the trails like walking trail. So no cars, no motorized vehicle. So it's a long way from the city if you get to one of these villages. And a typical Hmong village, you see, you have trails. You want to go to other village, you take the right side, or the north or west or south or east, going to the other village. And these trails will connect to other village. And so it's when I look at this, and I grew up, part of my life was in Laos, and then part of my the other life was in America. So I know both. Unlike Taku was he was born here, so he's pretty Americanized. So go ahead. Okay, here see the American soldier. He probably won the CIA. And on the right there, General Van Pao, and my left is General Van Pao, and my right one of the CIA American soldier, and the helicopter. Behind that is a lot of Hmong soldier and the Hmong people. Because Hmong, there's a lot of Hmong were the people that live on top of the mountain, the highland. And we have the Mian, the middle, and then the Lahu, the Kamu kind of in the middle, and then the Lao, they live in lowland. So between each of those ethnic groups, we have different culture, different language. And so the Hmong, they're on top of the mountain. So it's easy access for the CIA to land their plane on top of the mountain. So they use the Hmong to help during the Vietnam War. Go ahead. So here's a lot of Hmong soldier. Typical Hmong soldier would be 12, 13-year-old. Because your father, they went ahead and they get killed. So you're the son. You go, you take his place. And here's, I think is William Bill, his name. And so USCA Special Force and a Hmong soldier. Here's. So a lot of time people probably hear about, we talk about Hmong became soldier when they're 11 or 13 years old. You just hear people talking about, right? But a lot of people said, here, picture worth 1,000 words, right? So we have a lot of picture that, yes, a lot of Hmong soldiers were just 11 to 13-year-old. But back then, there's a lot of camera with just black and white, and you see better this way. Behind there, the helicopter and the U.S. Special Force and the 2 Hmong soldiers. About 11, 13-year-old. Yeah. So Hmong soldier as young as 11-year-old. Go ahead. And here's one of the landing strip on top of the mountain. You see Hmong people that, when the plane land, they hear the plane coming and land up there, so everybody running from their home just below it to the landing strip. So to pick up, maybe there's some like food or supplies or weapons from the CIA. And okay, go ahead. So the Hmong, the Hmong culture, okay, they're shamanism, okay, like animism and the shamans like the person that do the spiritual thing. So here in the 50, here's when the missionary came over and she committed her life to stay with the Hmong. She's from Pennsylvania. When she passed away, Pennsylvania, she asked that she wanted nothing but to dress herself in Hmong. So her name is Leona Blair. Leona Blair, her name is. So the Hmong, converted to Christian in the 50s, and the Hmong written word. Now we write in Hmong. Were from the missionary because we use the Arabic. The missionary came over and used the French letter to teach us. I can't write Hmong and show it and don't know the Taku, but Hmong just started in 1950. So the missionary, she but she passed away. Like I said, she requests, her last word was, I don't want anything but to dress myself in Hmong. So they did. Yeah. Here's when the missionary came over in the Hmong village. The whole village, came over to, receive them. They had to cross many river and many mountain to, pick up the loads or welcome them. Go ahead. Here's the culture of the religion, the animism. Christianity started in 1950. The Catholic came over that too. Clan leader, male dominant. Every Hmong family, when you go to talk to the family, you usually talk to the man first. You don't go straight to talk to women because that's how the Hmong family, the Hmong culture works. Often choose by clan, family, and help resolve problem. Yes, it's like the clan, the Yang, the Vang. So if there's an issue going on, I would go to the Vang family, and who's the leader in the Vang, and they would call the village over and for negotiation. Marriage often lasts 2 to 3 days. It's just a negotiation between clans member. Um, and yeah, negotiation of dowry for the bride. Always speak to 2 men on the other side, and on your side there's 2 men on your side. So a total of 4 men. Go ahead. And here, the customer culture, the Hmong New Year, many of you probably seen during Hmong New Year, December 26th to January 1st, here in the background every year. But because here we're so much of business, education, and so much of family issues, everything going on, and you probably heard about Hmong New Year's issues been going on. But the Hmong was still get together and celebrate. And so this happened for the young single people only. Okay, a couple of people they can play it for just a couple of seconds, but these usually occur when with single people, and the guys would be on the side, the girls were on the other side, and they would toss the ball, and sometimes if you really like the person, okay, just toss the ball and then you can communicate. But Hmong have this shyness, okay, they're very shy. So you like that person, you never go in front and talk to her. I like you because you're so so nice, But they don't want to say directly like the young generation. But they go, and during the Hmong New Year, they go ask for your last name first. They don't talk with the same last name. So if they're different last name, they're asked and they ask for a ball tossing. As they toss the ball, then they start communicating. And then if they like each other, well, later they could hook up, They don't. They just, So the celebration, because each year, because of Hmong, the farmer, right here, we grow a lot of rice, and the rice they're very fragrant. I don't know sure if you have some of those. They call the Monday chia, which is a
harvest time.
Yeah, and so they use that, and we have a lot of Hmong that grow rice here. Those rice they grow were a new rice and very fragrant. Unlike the rice that we usually just eat every day. Those are new rice for the Hmong New Year celebration. As I said, the ball tossing, in Hmong we call ball ball. Ball ball. See that word there? There's a quote right there. Ball ball. That's a Hmong word though. So but phonetically you would spell Paw, 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 like that. So, yeah, paw, paw. And they do most folks singing. So the New Year's coming pretty soon. Some of you, we're gonna have a booth over there too, and go there and just enjoy the food and enjoy the Hmong custom, the Hmong. We have so many people, other ethnic that are always there too. Just people all over the place. So it's starting December 26th to January the 1st every year. Hmong's agriculture way of life in Laos, Thailand, and to present day. As you see here, you go out, you see a lot of Hmong farm, Hmong grows sugar cane, grows papayas, just all kinds of fruits, vegetables. So go ahead. And here's guess four of the guys here. Who's Michael? So my mom, because of course my father was killed during the Vietnam War, and he served during the Vietnam War. He was killed. So I don't have any sister, only my 3 other brothers. So I was the oldest one, the guy with that white shirt. That's me. And then the guy at the far corner, my second younger, and my the red shirt. That's my middle, brother, and my youngest brother. the little one with my mom's holding hand. So my other brother, one of my brother, yeah, my two other youngest brother, they served in the military. So they've been in the Persian Gulf, the Desert Storm. He served in the Navy for 10 years, and now he's a fireman right now. And so both of my brother, but this guy over here, he's now, all of us is still in Fresno, so we all have family now. So my mom's still living. She's very old now, you know. So you know, in 1982, here's my brother, that Fong, that's from my left to right, Fong, and Michael, that's me, and Bird, the guy in the red shirt, and Chur, the last to your right here. This is a picture taken in 1982 in Providence, Rhode Island. Yeah, one of the smallest states in the U.S. Yeah. And now, at 2014, is Michael's family. So that's okay. From the left, that's Eden, that's my daughter, and that's me. And then in front, my wife and Thomas, and then Sarah. Yeah, Sarah's the one, and that's Angela, and that's Abigail, and that's Simon, and that's Peter, and that's my son Jeremiah. Jeremiah, so my son-in-law. Yeah. So yeah, it's you know, it's a life-changing, you know, from the jungle to from a industrialization country to a civilized industrialization country. You know, it's something that I experienced in a lifetime when you look at it. You know, and now it's a blessing to, you know, to live a life where you know, you will see the whole world, but you see, you know, different from like no life to a real life, you know. So yeah, and I think that's it for me. I have a long story, but I wanna shorten this story and then Shuan to go tell you that story. When we walk across from Laos to Thailand to escape the communists, we lived after the U.S. pulled. You know, we didn't lose the war, okay? We you know, because the situation, we pulled our soldier back because it was the negotiation, and the president just decided to pull the U.S. back. And then those who served during the Vietnam War, you had to come with the American or be killed. And we made a promise before that, okay, the American came over and said that you help us to stop the communists, and we win the war, and you have your country, and everything we'll provide to help you. And if we lose, then we'll take all of you with us. So we made this promise, and so we didn't lose the war, but we pulled all our soldiers back, and those who served during the Vietnam War have to come along or you'll be killed, because you go through you know, re-education camp, and then, you know, if you serve, then you'll be killed. They looking for a lot of Hmong people that serve. A lot of people get killed. And so we have to stay in the jungle from place to place. And for me, you know, living in the jungle, you know, that you have to find your own food. You know, plants and animal, insect, that just to stay alive. And now, you know, I was watching this show called Fear Factor. I go, you know, I would like to enter that because I survived. So we have to eat plants and animal, insects, and anything edible to survive. And so walking across, you know, the monsoon rain, the thick jungle, very thick. There's poisonous snakes and insects, poisonous. Everything's, you know, you have to survive. So I was walking through the trails, and there's a giant centipede, about 2 foot long. They're big, very poisonous. And they cut it in half, and they tossed the half tails away, and left the half head still lying around. Because I didn't see it; it was so dense, and I was walking, and I stepped on it. It bit me so hard. It injected. Oh, it's poisoned my leg. And I fell down. I couldn't move. I cried so much. And the whole group have to go through to get to the border, to cross the river to the other side, to Thailand. So I couldn't walk. It's so painful, nothing painful than that. And so I told my mom and my brother, everybody, just go on and leave me there, to die. I'd rather die. It's so painful. I can't walk. So my mom would put my youngest brother in her back, and some of the loads that along with it. She could not carry me because she had a load on her back. So she would walk a mile and left my youngest brother there and everything there. She would walk back and put me on her back. She did that for 3 days. And after 3 days, I was able to stand up and with a stick and walk, just slowly. So, but then you have to carry something to protect you too, right? I had a grenade, and grenade it's heavy, right? And I was told that when you get captured by the communists, you would pull the pin, and you kills everybody around. Yeah. So I had a grenade. It was hungry. We came across a river to a river, and there's a lot of fish, right? And there's no way we can catch the fish because we have nothing to catch it. The only things, use my grenade. So my uncle told me, give me a grenade. I said, for what? He said, don't you want to eat? And I said, yeah, that's our fish. I gave him the grenade, right? And he pulled the pin. He tossed in the river there, and about 5 seconds later, it exploded. And after that, all the fish were floating. I was so happy. We collected fish, and we had food. But then I lost my grenade. If I get captured by the communist soldier, then I'll just be killed by knife or just torture. So I was afraid. We walk at night. We finally made to the Mekong River. We crossed at night to the refugee camp. And I remember that. Once we crossed, and I thought that there's so many people came over and took a lot of pictures. I think we were on the National Geography one time. I was looking at the National Geography that Hmong were crossing the border to Thailand, and part of that looked like our group, But I was so young, I could remember just a tiny bit, but. It's quite an experience. Going through the jungle and get bit by a giant centipede. It's not something that really easy. It's the most painful and the hardest. I would say the worst. Time that I went through. And so I had. Thanks for the opportunity for sharing this with you. And we're here from Shua and Taku.
Okay.
And so
20 more minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
Okay, I zoomed by because hopefully we help, you guys can stay a little late, but I'm gonna just zoom by. So here's my story. Thank you for coming, and I know that many of you probably will, like Michael Stacy was the whole, why we here? Okay, the reason why we here. Okay, so the reason we here because like Michael said, the soldiers they pulled back and we lost a peace talk, so we either go or we kill. So that's why we put my, here's the escape from Laos. And then here's another communist. Communist is because in another word, communist we a lot of times the Hmong people say nyala means, the word nyala means that they're dead. So every time you say communist, so means that they see you, they'll kill you. So that's why we have to escape. So many times, this is all those people that we scare the most. We see the bee, like the soup like that, we say, okay, we better go. So I think that time I was about like 10-year old, so my mom just say, well, you know what, we are in Paquet, and those people that in Long Cheng, those ones that they already get picked up from the airplane to Thailand, but we left behind, so the town just go chaos. I know that kind of like, a lot of people just whispering, we need to go, we're gonna get killed. So my mom said, okay, all right. So my uncle, many people, they left the hometown just like all gone, every house just empty. So very scary moment. Cow, pig, everything just chaos, no owner to feed them. So, oh my God, at that time, I just don't want to go back there anymore. So since now, I never go back to Laos. So it's very scary story. So, here we are.
Thank you.
Okay.
Push it again. Okay.
Yeah, so my mom said, okay, well, in Laos, we don't have restaurant on the way, so we have to do something, right? And we have children. My family I'm like the fourth child, so we have about 7 children from the house. So, and then none of my brothers are married. We are just like, probably school age. My oldest brother probably like 12, 13, and I'm 10, so another 2 younger brother and sisters. So we have like 7, 8 kids, and those small children. So we have to do something. So my mom, we have to kill pig. We have to, pack in food, so that way that we don't get starving on the way that we are, coming along to save a place. So that's why we have to packing all this meat in here. This is like, I wish we was like that, but at that time, whichever we making, just packing. So that's what we kind of making meat jerky. And then when we left behind, this is the store that my parents, this is the store that my parents left behind. It's very sad news for my dad that this milling process, we just bought it for 3 years. This cost $3 million. 3 million kids in here worth is a lot of money, probably at least 300,000. So my dad, just bought that, and we have a lot of rice, we have a lot of things that left over. My dad have 150 cows left behind. So all the value thing, it just is like, behind, because you either go or you die. So you cannot take anything. The only thing that we take just like, the couple pieces clothes, maybe a couple pot and pan that to put on the way. So that's all we carry. So nothing else we can carry. So everything is left behind. So very sad, but at least we don't die. We don't get killed, which is good news. And then again, on the way that we are coming to the safer place that we call the Nasu. So we're walking through, and then in Laos, we don't have many roads like, stay here. If you cannot go, once you stay here, you can go 41. No, there's only one road to go, right? So when we get into, we're like, on the road, get to there, and then those communist soldiers don't want people to leave town. So they started shooting. So we cannot go in that road anymore. So my brother said, okay, we have to find another way around to get through that. It's like checkpoint, but it's different than checkpoint. With your checkpoint, you every car go, but like how, in Laos, they have a soldier, they have, like checkpoint, but then it's different than that. They have to see if you have any letter from the mayor, anyone that can you pass through that. Like, how you go to the border of Mexico? It's kind of like that. So if you don't have anything, documentation, you can pass, you don't let it go. So that is how a lot of soldiers that, kind of killing people. Yeah, so very, very dangerous. I mean, I don't want to put very graphic one, so this is a sample but this is very scary. A lot of people get killed during this time. So luckily that, my
And this,
family.
picture Shua was
Yeah.
shown here
Mhm.
because it was drawn by the Hmong. Sometimes the Hmong don't have it written. They would put it in hand stitches. They call it bandao, and you see those weaving, long cloth that they depict the walking from Laos to Thailand.
It's just a story that, how people get to the United States.
You
Yeah.
guys ever want to see what I have one in my office? I'm for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got one here.
I got one in my
Oh,
office.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So during those times, we was, be able to pass through the, checking point. So my older brother has another opportunity that, okay, how do we be able to get the Vientiane to cross the Mekong River to the United States? So happily that my brother, he working, he in school in Vientiane, and he know a lot of friends close to him. So he kind of go around to ask the guy, can you take us across that little, alternate so that way that we can get through there? So my brother would, just, go ask, and then we have 25 people right on this little, canoe. But I think this is the bigger one. The one that we are is 25 people. So the water almost the same when we pass through that gap that, to be able to go through it. So a couple people had to take the water out. A couple people had to, kind of paddle the boat so that water became through. It's dark in the night, and then during that time we are, hiding in the bush that it's so scary. Just like there's no moving, nothing, just sit there. So we are so scary that time my youngest brother, probably like 5 months. So lucky that he doesn't cry at all that day. Otherwise we get killed because if anybody those soldiers coming, you are killed. Doesn't matter what, they kill anyone that they saw. Yeah, so very scary. So every time I talk about this moment, I'm still scared. I say, okay, I wish I don't have to go back there anymore. So that's why I don't want to go. So very scary. Many people have different story, but my story is the scariest one. So I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. So this is how, when we cross the Mekong River, this is how you get on. But us, we coming during the midnight, probably 11 or 12, that everyone goes to sleep. And then we had to lose a lot of money to be able to cross here. We had to hire some people to, bring us down to, the river to cross it. Yeah, so, to get here, and not just get here, you just survive to get here. So it's very scary. So everyone kind of say, okay, why too many Hmong people in here? Yes, they to survive. So our life is very precious. Yeah, so this is what that after we came to cross the Mekong River, and then we land in, it's another camp called Nampong, and after Nampong we came to Ban Binai. This is more, a lot of people will settle for, for me, I lived in Ban Binai for 4 years. In those 4 years, I learned a little bit of English, I learned some more Thai, so also when I came to and say, I'm already know a little bit about English, because I was settled in Thailand for 4 years. So, I learned some Thai word, I learned some, English there, so kind of little bit, so I know a little bit about Thai. So, but when we was in the camp, it's kind of dangerous, also another dangerous stuff, because you only be able to stay in the camp. You only can eat what you have in the camp. Anyone who get out from the camp will get, beaten by the Thai soldier or Thai officer. So, anyone who don't obey, get spanked and get really kind of, suffer from there. So this is the camp they call Babinai. It's a lot of people live here, but now this camp is closed. So this here it's going to be a jungle right now. There's no more people in here. Yeah, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about my the story of soldier. This is my uncle. This is the middle one, Shu, and then one top. These two people here are both serving in the war, so they both died. These people, they both died. They have children. He have children in Minnesota, And then he also had children here, but they both died during serving the war. So every family in Laos, like I can say, you either serve in the war or you either, farmer. So they both, serve in the war. And then this is my oldest brother. He also served in the war. And the next picture, he is, So that's he. Yeah, so he had bundle on grenade, like Michael said. So he passed away like 3 years ago, but he survived. But he really served in the war at 70 to 75. So, but it is, scary. And I don't know how he could be able. I was searching for the photo, and I'd be able to find this photo that from his pile of the picture that for the album. So yeah. So this is my oldest brother. Yeah. So it's very scary. Okay, so this is me before we came to United States. I wish I got the skin again. So this is when I was 14, when it was a little bit before we came to United States. So yeah, this is the shore of the Mekong River. This is the shore. And during, back in Thailand, during the summer here, they mean that really raining there. But, happened that before we came, this is a very long shore that we just go hang out, and then we took these pictures in here. So this is one my cousin, she lived in Colorado. So I came to United States in 1979, and I live in San Diego. So I was about 14. So I know that time I was 14, I started, I think 8th grade when I first came, with broken English. And then, but it was that I was really studying really hard. By 9th grade, I'd be able to pass all the tests at high school. So I was like, wow, okay, I really did well. But, it is hard when you first come to the United States and you have to adapt to it. Yeah, so, it's difficult, but I make it do so. And again, I think I could have a little this picture, but here's some of the different clothes that, we have. What I have in here is more like modern fashion, but some of these clothes in here are tradition. And then different clothes have different regions. They have a little different. Some of the clothes that from Michael's PowerPoint, that the lady with the stripe, these are Northern region. We are Hmong, but then we have a little different region, and then we spoke a little different, but we know they're Hmong. So the clothes can tell what region you came from also. So I need some type of cook. Yeah. So here, this is my children. So here are my boys. Here is Brian's my oldest son. Jesse's the second one, and he's the third, and he's the fourth, he's the fifth. So fortunately, so these are all my boys. And then he have a master's degree. He have a master's degree. He have a bachelor's, and he's getting his PhD, right now he's in Oregon. And Benjamin have his finishing in doing water stuff. So yeah, so my children are well educated, so I'm so proud of me. But I really put a lot of effort into it because, in the matter I don't have any girl, but they're precious, the children anyway, so I'm happy what I have. Yeah. So again, here is my daughter-in-law and my son Jesse, so they're married, and then here is the silver coin stuff. And I brought this one in, but I think I can see how heavy it is. This is a real silver. What I have is just fake silver. This costs $60. That costs $2,500. This is real silver. No one can take it. Yeah. So this is our very expensive. Yeah. So. Nowadays, not too many people wear that because it's so heavy. We just gonna go for the cheaper one. That even when I take it, $60 I can laugh, but now, yeah. So here's my husband Lou. He's a Lutheran pastor, and then this morning I was gonna wear this clothes, but I cannot find this piece. I don't know what to wear. So I'm putting a different one. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So. Here we are, so I'm here, so yeah.
Thank you, Sheila.
Sorry for the speeding.
All right, I got 5 minutes. I'll do this 5 minutes. All right, so my name is Taku. So you guys don't know me. I'm one of the program coordinator for UC Cal Fresh. Growing up, first generation in America. So when my mom came here, they came in September 1987. My uncle, my dad's young brother, picked them up. I had a great picture, but I know my dad with it. Was when they landed in San Fran. They made a pit stop coming towards Fresno, and it was my brother. He was like naked. And my dad was in his traditional clothes, and my oldest brother, who was in this like jumpsuit that looks like Bruce Lee, but that was the title. So, as you can tell, it was this jumpsuit right here. We lived with my dad's younger brother for a while because he came here before everybody else, and he spoke a little bit more English, and he knew like kind of like the ropes when they came here. And also, I was one of the two borns in America, so they came in '87, and then a year later, I was born in '88, and then the youngest one, which is my sister, she was born in 1990. So I have a total of 9 people in my family, so 6 sisters, 2 brothers, and plus me, so that's 9 people. So this is my oldest brother, his name is Long. This is my dad right here. This is my sister Kaoli. This is my sister Bami, she's the second oldest daughter. My sister Pohua, she lives in Lompoc here. My mom, and that's my brother Shia, he's the one that is the middle brother. So it was just them, so all of them came over to the United States. My sister eventually got married 4 years after they came over to the United States. And she always tells me a story that I used to cry all the time because she left. She was like my mom, basically. So she took care of me. So this is just a little picture of them right before they came. I think this was 1986 or 87, around there, right before they came. And this is me growing up. So I'm going to talk about me. So English was my second language. I spoke a lot of Hmong, but of course, how did I learn English? Learning from watching TV, especially cartoons, whatever show was on there. And also from my older siblings, they spoke English, they learned English, and that's where I learned it from, was from through them. I had a lot of hand-me-downs, because of course when you have a big family, you don't have money for everything, so all the hand-me-downs was from my brother. We live in a low poverty area, and there's a lot of gang influence. So when we all came here, there was a lot of like uprising gangs, especially Asian gangs. The reason why is because we had to protect ourselves, right? We were getting picked on. No, we're immigrants. They came here. We're getting picked on. I knew a lot of people in gangs. I had a lot of cousins, relatives in gangs. We hung around them, and my parents would always tell me, "Don't join them." Like just because you hang with them, don't be like them. And that was true too. And then a lot of times, these people who were gangs, they didn't have a lot of parents to influence them. So that's the reason I did join gangs, because that was their family right there. And
you watch Gran Torino? When you was with?
Yeah,
Took who's in it?
I wish I was in there. Well, I was there, I'd probably be an actor right now. But yeah, so a lot of gang influence. I can tell you, growing up, I went to school with a lot of kids at elementary school. It wasn't just Hmong kids. Like Michael was mentioning, there's other ethnicities, right? Like Lao people. So you guys know who Lao people that are from Laos too. A lot of them live in my state, so I grew up with a lot of them, and also a lot of Hmong people. And a lot of those kids that I went to school with, most of them are locked up already, and most of them are either dead from gang violence, and some of them have made it out of the area. So I was telling the story. People don't believe me, but I'm like, yeah, I grew up like that. So this is me. I think this is when I was like 3 or 2 or something. And this is also me here, and I can see it flexing my guns right here. So, and I was always all about cartoons, and I still am. I still watch a lot of cartoons. This is my nephew. He lives in Colorado, so he always followed me around. And the next one, expectations. So as first generation, we're expected to be the best, right? So I'm pretty sure a lot of us here are first generation too. Like our parents always push us. Like we come here, no, they had to escape the war. They came here for opportunity for us to be better. So expectation, do good in school, go to college, have a good job, and have a family of our own, right? So that's all the expectations. But that's what they gave us. But as the first generation, like you don't get guidance from our parents. They told us to just do that. So what did we do with our guidance? We had to go and make friends and then talk to teachers, do this and do that to actually learn all this stuff. And also, I had to take care of my parents because since I'm the youngest, I'm not sure if that's the case for every Hmong person, but that's what I always heard when I grew up. They said, you're the youngest son, you have to take care of your parents because everybody else is older and you're still with them. So even to this day, I still take my parents, take care of them a lot. Even though they don't live with me, like I still go over and take care of them, take them to the hospital, and also give them meds and help them whenever they need me. Learn the culture and tradition of our family. So that was one of the biggest pressure for me, especially when I grew up here. I grew up Americanized, right? I still speak a lot of Hmong. A lot of people my age, they don't speak that much Hmong anymore, but I try to keep up with it because if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it, right? I'm pretty sure just like people who speak Spanish here, if you don't use your Spanish often, you're gonna lose it. And it was very important to me because when I take my parents to the hospital, I had to learn all this terminology. And I had to keep it in my mind because when I take it to the hospital again, I forget, I can miscommunicate with the doctors on my dad's health or my mom's health. So it's very important. And also, my dad is a shaman too. He's a very highly shaman. People always come to him. They always ask him to do things and do that for him. So it was like expected to me to learn all this tradition. We'll talk about more of that in a little bit. So, and also be a good person and don't do anything bad. So that's very true. I remember one time I did something bad at school. I'm not gonna say it. I'm pretty sure. I think I told you guys. I did something very bad at school, and my teacher went on a field trip to Los Angeles to a conference for FBLA. I know you guys ever heard of FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, and we did something bad, and we were gonna get expelled when we came back, and they were gonna call our parents, and I was like, damn. My parents gonna give me a whooping. I was like, I am gonna cry. I'm gonna never gonna ever I'm gonna get disowned from my parents. Like they're never gonna love me anymore. But yeah, it's very good. It's a bad thing to be a bad person, but you always expect to be a good person. I'm pretty sure everybody is expected to be a good person. Cultures and tradition for first generation Hmong Americans. So first generation culture and tradition are disappearing more and more. The reason why, because a lot of the older people who came here and brought that tradition, the old tradition, they're passing away, and then us, the younger kids, we're not really learning it, so we're losing that tradition. So I have a lot of friends who have converted from old tradition to going to the Western tradition, right? Like going to church, being Christians or Catholics. So I have a lot of friends who've done it because it's too hard. They can't keep up with the old tradition. And even the old people themselves say themselves, it's too difficult. They don't have a written book on how to run our tradition. There's no written book. It's all by ear. You learn it by ear. So you have to remember all that by ear. And also, many first-generation borns are moving towards American culture, like I said. We don't eat Hmong food all the time. I mean, I love myself a hamburger, pizza, eat all those American type of food, right? So we are leaning towards that. Even our kids, my kids, I'm glad they like Hmong food. That's the thing. I'm glad they like Hmong food. But like a lot of other kids, like my nieces and nephews, they don't like it. They like to eat like American foods, like what we normally eat in America, like spaghetti, pizza, hamburgers, chicken nuggets are very popular, and all that stuff. And also, English is often the first language now. Like I said, people my age, even though we're first generation, if I see somebody out there, I know that person is Hmong, they're not going to talk to me in Hmong first. They're going to talk to me in English first. I'm pretty sure that happens to a lot of first generation. If you speak Spanish, you go out there, don't speak to you in Spanish first. They're going to speak to you in English first, because English is our first language here now. And also we're in an American culture, and that's what we speak. And sometimes when I speak Hmong, they think I'm weird. I'm like, I'm not weird, I'm Hmong, you're Hmong, you're not to speak it. If I speak it to you, I expect you to know that. Unless you tell me you don't speak any, then I won't speak any to you. But that's very true right now. Even our kids, what do they learn first? English first. Right? My kids, they're learning English first, and Hmong is like the second language now. Old tradition practice is not ideal anymore. So like I mentioned, we're leaning more towards Western medicine or Western religion. And the old tradition, like I said, is just too difficult to do. Like even I have this talk with my parents all the time. They always say, when they pass, we can go and do whatever we want. We don't have to follow the tradition because we don't know the tradition. Unless I do learn it, which I don't know I am. So that's the tough part. And this is just a picture, this is during my wedding, so this is a traditional wedding that I had. This is all my cousins, friends, I have more but they weren't there. They were bowing down because they were saying thanks to the people that showed up, and also to the people from far away where they're giving thanks. And of course, it involves a lot of alcohol. When you go to a Hmong wedding, there's a lot of alcohol. Culture tradition continue. So Hmong women and men are becoming more equal. So it used to be where the men do all the work, and the Hmong women, they're supposed to just stay home. They stay home, take care of your kids, cook, clean, and do all that stuff. But now that we're in American society, everything has become kind of role reversal. No, there's more men are helping their spouses more among the Hmong family. Like we're helping out more, and even the older people start doing that more too. And women are being recognized more as successful people compared to the men. I can tell you now, I have a lot of relatives who are girls who have a continuing education. A lot of them have received bachelor's, master's, and stuff like that compared to the guys. So we always get ridiculed by the old people, like, oh, you guys don't have to do anything. You guys are not the women. The women are not the men. They're doing this and that. So it's a funny thing. And also, marriages have often occurred later in life than as a young teen. So I'm not sure you guys ever heard a story about Hmong teens getting married early. But that was the case when I was growing up. I had a lot of people who I knew got married at the age of 16, 15, 17. And it was crazy. Like, I was like, man, these guys are going to go to jail, you know, American law, you know, this and that. But as the Hmong culture, you know, you don't like make it as an American culture. It's the Hmong tradition. It's okay for them to get married like that. No, the only thing that's not okay is like all of a sudden to start telling the police and this and that. And yeah, that's not okay. But yes, marriage isn't as traditional as before. So this is a picture of me and my wife when we got married. So every time when the flower blooms, I know it's during our marriage time. So we got married, traditional married, back in when I was 20. That's when I was 20. So I got married kind of early. My wife was 19. We did a traditional wedding. We wanted to do an American wedding, but it cost too much. That time I was still in college, couldn't afford it. So we did a traditional marriage. But a lot of, when you go to a Hmong wedding now, you kind of see American influence in there. So you see like cakes there, you see designs, little drop back where you take pictures. So a lot of that influence is actually combined with the Hmong tradition too. For example, my nephew or my niece who got married in Colorado, they did an American wedding, and afterwards they did Hmong traditional wedding at the end. So we've been seeing that mix a lot. And also family isn't as big as before because of the society we live now. We all have to work to make a living. It wasn't like how it was in Laos where you know, you have to make money in order to pay your house bill. No, it wasn't like that. You know, it was different. And also the reason why the family was big too in Laos is because like my mom always tells me, we needed a lot of kids to help us farm, to help us take care of things, to help us do this. That's why the family was always so big. But for us, like I can't have 9 kids. I mean, that's not ideal because if I have 9 kids, I know I probably won't be working because that's like I don't have enough money to like do this and do that for them. Education is an important part of our generation and future generations. So that's the key thing in our culture. Education. Educate yourself. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You have to just educate yourself. That's the way of life and that's the way how you're going to succeed in this world. Older parents are more open to American culture now than before. So like my parents, they weren't, back then they used to like hate things that we did. Like they didn't want me to play sports. I was like, why can't I play sports? You had to go to school, be smart, get a job, be a doctor, right? Like stereotype thing, right? But then when I grew older, like they realized like, yeah, you know, they need exercise. It's okay to play sports, you know, doing that. So it was hard for me to actually do any kind of sports or any extracurricular activity because that's what they want. Go to school, go home, study, go back to school, same exact thing. So this is a picture of my sister's graduation at UC Davis. This is my sister Kali. She's the one that lives here with my parents now. My mom, the youngest one, Kola, and this is me. You guys know how old I was? I was 17. So where's Waddle? Right here, Waddle. So just a little quick picture of my family. This is my dad when he was 30. So at the time, my age, when he was in the Army, to take an Army photo. So this is like the only Army photo that he actually has. He has another one that I couldn't bring because it was all like distorted. My parents, before they came over, and also there's my brother, my oldest brother, and my younger brother right here. Or the middle brother. This is my family. I like to do this little before and after pictures. So this is us when we first finally moved to our house. Man, it was the most amazing thing. I wasn't cooped up in an apartment anymore. And it was a 4-bedroom house, two bath, and I was like ecstatic. Man, I used to run around crazy. I think that's where my kids get it from because I'm kind of wild. My dad, my mom, my sister Pohua, from oldest to youngest, Pohua, Manny, Kali, and then this is my brother Shia. That's me in the purple shirt, and that's my sister right there. And as you can see, this is when I was like 4, and this is like when I was in 4th grade. There we go, 4th grade. So my family right here, and then this is my whole family right here. So this is my nieces, nephews, brother-in-law, sister-in-laws, brothers, sisters, mom and dad. So and this is back in 2014 when we took this picture. But now our family has grew. Of course, we have more kids now. So it's a lot bigger. So this is during my dad and my mom's wedding anniversary that we did it at. And this is the only time we ever got all together, was able to take a picture. So yeah. And last picture is me and my family. So it was funny because I was telling my wife, like, dang, this is our only picture we ever have of our family. And the hard part is because we have a lot of pictures of me, my wife, and my daughter, but my son, it's hard to get him to take pictures. So like this one, he was crying for like a good 30 minutes before we took pictures. And this is just recently, last year in the Hmong New Year. So at the Hmong New Year's, they have a lot of booths where you can take pictures. So of course, we love taking these type of pictures. So this is my family right here. And then, thank you guys. I hope you guys like to hear a story. I would have told you guys my parents' side of the story because I know the whole side of the story, but it's going to take too long, so I just wanted to share that experience with you guys. So you guys have any questions? Hey, Chris?
What is that in the back there?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
So this is a Hmong instrument that's very common to use. They use it to make music, and also it's used at a lot of funerals. So it has to do with a lot of spiritual stuff. You guys want to hear me play it?
Yes.
Be blown away. I'll show you guys. So it sounds like this. Something like that. I don't know how to play it. Yeah, I just pretended I didn't know how to play it. It takes a lot of practice to actually learn to play it, but usually when you play it, it always tells a story. From what my dad tells me, when you're playing it, it tells a story, the life of the person, or just tells some kind of story. They call it daning, or in Hmong, in English, stories. But they use these a lot. This one's a little broken because it dropped and it kind of broke a little bit. But yeah, when you go to your funeral homes, there's a lot of these over there, and they're always playing it 24/7. That's like old tradition. I'm not sure, like.
Christian, we don't use
Yeah,
that.
they don't use that often. Yeah,
You know,
but
they use this as a musical instruments to, just how life in the highland. But then because with the dead and family, they would use this to, it's just like a music to send the soul to the underworld. Yeah. So that's why they use this a lot at funeral in a Hmong tradition. But the Christian, they don't use this anymore. They just play for, just for fun, but they don't use for funeral.
so if you guys go to like Hmong New Year, you guys will see people out there performing with these stuff too. It's pretty amazing. I wish I knew how to play it. My uncle taught me a little bit, but I kind of forgot it because I don't have one. That's the thing. So I kind of forgot. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this presentation. I know it'll take a little longer. But if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask us. During we have a potluck. You guys have questions. We're happy to answer it. If you guys want to hear more stories, I got tons of stories to tell you guys. But thank you guys very much.